Hello, welcome to the Zero Ends channel. Please like and subscribe. Please enjoy our live.
Welcome in the edition here on the Zero Ends channel. Zero Ends here. Make sure to like, comment, and also don't forget to subscribe to the Zero Ends channel. Zero Ends, as you know, we don't have no Twitter yet, but we do have, and we have a TikTok, which I will share and post eventually. Gotta get it set up though. But that's another social media site you can find. Zero Ends. What else? This should be a good one. Should be entertaining. See how it goes. But as I give you a few minutes to get comfortable. Also, if y'all notice, there's some videos on here that y'all could double check and look and maybe like and comment and give your view. As you know, this channel deals with most of the political and other small aspects of the world. There and some books, and probably gonna get back to the upload parts of certain books to read and look at and give a different perspective. That will be coming down the line soon. But like always, we're gonna really take it easy for today's stream. 1 second, guys, as I find some videos and we begin. All right. All right. Let's see if I can find some here. So let me remove some things, get the studio nice and set up, clear up the gutter a little bit. And I forgot. Make sure you like the video as you come in. Smash that like button. Let's see. Oh, for some reason I got a notification. Wait. Let me make sure. Did they just now send notification? Let me check this. That'd be messed up if it did. Let me see. Yeah, that is weird. The notifications got sent out late. But like always, it's expected that you get late notifications because let's be honest, I'm going to deal with some visuals and share some reels, and I don't expect that to be well popular or really catch notice. So it is what it is. Let me see what's going on. I'm trying to. All right, where is my reels? Okay. We're gonna deal with. I think I might play 5 or 6 reels today, maybe 7. We'll see how it goes. And before I do that, let me I gotta find it. I don't know why. I should have to pull up already, but for some reason I have an issue now. Where did I kept it? Damn. Where is it? Hold on, guys. I gotta find it. For some reason, I don't know where the hell it is. Oh, now I found the name of it. Okay. That's how I was looking wrong. I was looking wrong. Hang on. And some of this I'll probably rewind twice so I got more clear and context to it, to add context to this. IG. All right, I found it. Well, let's start off like many things. And there's a lot of things to look at. We're gonna start our way from the latest news and regardless to, what's going on in Florida. So the first reel, and to make sure I cue that up. Here we go.
DeSantis decided it was a good idea to go ahead and sign this bill into legislation. Floridians all across Florida, you can now carry a gun without a permit. Yes, you heard me.
Okay, so as someone who is planning to obtain a permit this year, I kind of have, it's a double-edged sword because on one hand, I am appreciative of the fact that we will be able to carry without having to go through all the hoops. Because, if you have the medical marijuana card, you can't get the permit.
That's the only reason you got to know.
I'm just saying, I feel like it's a bad thing because Florida already accounts for over 1/10 of the mass shooters in this country already. So this may not be the right state, but it's
People literally going in and killing our children. Insane people. So now we're saying in the state of Florida, you're already insane, but now you can have a gun on top of being insane.
Yeah. Oh yeah. State of Florida now it looks like it's becoming the wild, wild west out there in the deep down south, where they have the alligators. And if you remember back in the times during the 18 or early 1700s, they used to take poor little black babies, I think especially mostly boys, and used to use them as the bait for alligators, and they throw them into the ocean. And now to find that you now don't have to carry no actual permit to not only own a weapon, but also you can now walk in the streets with a gun. Yeah. I'm not sure that's gonna turn out. I mean, and let's go in deeper. Let's see if there's any articles to verify this. In the state of Florida. Guns. Let's check what we find here. Permits in the state of Florida. Let's see. The new law will allow anyone who can legally own a gun in Florida to carry one without a permit. It means training and background checks will not be required to carry concealed guns in public. It takes effect July the 1st. My God, this is true. So we got to look at the article on this right here. And this is now April 3rd. So it's like 2 weeks ago. Now every video I'm going to Miss Shalom, I sent you some, so please make your way upstairs, please. Thank you. Let me share this to y'all so y'all can see this. So it says here, DeSantis signs bill allowing Florida residents to, and let me make sure I can see from my other end, make sure it's clear. I want to see on 2 monitors. All right, good. Well, what the hell? Get rid of this, man. Florida residents carry concealed gun without a permit. Close that. Florida residents will be able to carry concealed guns without a permit under a bill signed into law on Monday by Republican Governor Ron DeSantis. The law, which goes into effect the first week of July, meaning that anyone who can legally own a gun in Florida can carry a concealed gun in public without any training or background check. Jesus Christ. My God. But you gotta love it, don't you? The constitutional carry is in the books, DeSantis said. See that? And make sure you like the stream and share the stream. A White House spokesperson, and matter of fact, let me do one better. Let me do this because I'm not sure if one state allows it, it's going to be a domino effect for every other state to start follow suit. I mean, if you know certain states, guns, owning and carrying guns is a little problematic. And it's something to look at. All right. Hold on. Hold on. Where is, he's not even on the thing. All right, so let me do this. I'm going to keep it as that. Let's keep going. And a White House spokesperson slammed DeSantis, who signed the bill into law just days after the school shooting in Nashville, Tennessee. White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre called it shameful. This is the opposite of common sense. Gun safety, Jean-Pierre said. The people of Florida who have paid a steep price for states and congressional inactions on guns, from Parkland to Polk's nightclubs in Pine Hills. And let me check. Hold on. All right. And let me close that. I don't want to see that. DeSantis previously said that he supports open permitless of firearms because if it concealed, it makes it easier for somebody to potentially do a crime. How stupid can you be? Oh God damn it. This is a weird backwards world we live in, man. He added that he wouldn't veto a permitless concealed carry bill from his legislation if it didn't have open carry. Oh wow. Okay. Where am I? Florida has issued more than 2.6 million concealed weapons permits, according to the State Department of Agriculture and Commission Service. The new law does not impact the background checks and 3-day waiting period required to purchase a gun in Florida. Florida does not require a permit to buy a gun. A March University of North Florida poll of 1,452 registered voters found that just 21% of people in the state support concealed carry weapons or carry without a permit. Wow. With 77% of those polls signed, they oppose the bill strongly or somewhat. That's the end of that article. You make do of what that is. Yeah, you gotta make do of that, people. Okay. I have no words to that. I think it, to me, if this is gonna fly in the next 2 months, because July is almost around the corner. In the next 2 months, I gotta see how much more protection the citizens of Florida are gonna be once everybody's gonna now get a gun, including young teenagers. I'm just saying. What's next? Let me find another video. Yeah, that's just crazy. All right, let me see it. I'm just going through. Here's another thing that's going on across the pond in the West Coast.
So serious. As you can see, these people are killed over wherever they take this drug at. It is mixed with an animal tranquilizer called xylazine, along with fentanyl and heroin, all three. It makes them lose their limbs, okay? They will get big gashes, and if they don't stop, they will lose their legs or their arms. It's sweeping through Philadelphia and New York right now and currently making its way throughout the United States.
We've never seen anything like this. People on the verge of losing their legs.
Now, mind you, this is going on in, I think, the state of California. Because of the methamphetamines and the heroin act, or what's going on in what they call America, where a lot of non-black people are taking these heavily induced drugs, pill popping and heroin, for their either addiction, their pain, or another form of coping with dealing with the realities of the physical world they're in. Whatever the case may be, they're taking these lethal drugs for another form of copism of the realities they're in. Personally, from what I'm seeing, I could be wrong, but anyway, let's keep listening.
Or arms, because this animal tranquilizer called xylazine, or tranq, is infecting their bones. They're now keeled over, as you said, on sidewalks along Kensington Avenue in Philadelphia because they're being heavily sedated by tranq, which is mixed in with highly addictive fentanyl and heroin. Fentanyl may be driving the fatal overdose rates in the United States, but tranq is leading to amputations because the people can't stop using it, and it's boring into their muscles and bones.
Next thing you know, you wake up with these big holes all over you, these sores in your legs and wherever. They just pop out of anywhere.
Have the doctors told you that you could lose your leg?
Yes.
And that's not enough to get you to stop?
I'm trying. It's a lot easier said than done. We would wake up and we'd be completely sick.
Have the doctors or nurses said that you could lose your hands because of the tranq?
Yeah, I mean, there's a possibility, yeah.
All right. That's another thing. So let's take a look of if this is really true. Let's take a look. Let's go back. Let me see. Let me find the name of it. Let's see. I'm just gonna run the playback one more time.
Y'all, this.
All right, that's what's called TR8 and Q. Okay. Let's look and see if this is true. Trank. In Cali. Okay, let me see how far this date was dated back before I look into this. All right. I don't know. Let me find the article because it's not giving me a time and date. When was this? Oh no, this date. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna share this. Let me just stop this. It's good for I want to get rid of these stupid ads. These ads be ridiculous. All right. Next article will be this. So let me. As you know, guys, I'm going old school with this. So let's see. And we're gonna look at this KCRA news. This is posted back in March. California health officials called trank emergence. Trank emergence issue as feds warn of deadly mix with phenamine or amphetamine, so what you want to call it, right? Public health officials in San Juan County confirmed that KCR3 has this monthly that they are aware of the latest one response. Now let's go down. Amphetamines, I think it's called Xalin, and counts from opium, etc., etc., etc. Let's go down. A horse tranquilizer linked to overdose death in the Northwest and United States over the past several years, when mixed with fentanyl, is now an emerging issue in California, according to state health officials. Hold on. California Departments of Public Health said the state of monitoring trends involving the dying Zienzin, which is known as trank or trank dope. Sometimes the drug is taken knowingly, and other times people are unaware that it's been mixed into other drugs. The emergencies last week set up a web page where it plans to post updates about the drugs used in California. Okay. And on Monday, the U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration issued an alert that says what they call xylazine is making the deadliest drug threat our country has ever faced. Fentanyl even deadlier, so it's even more deadly than fentanyl. In 2022, about 23% of fentanyl providers and 7% of fentanyl pills seized by the DA contain xylazine. The agency said, I don't know if I pronounced that right, but y'all can read this for yourself. While the xylazine fentanyl mixture have been found in all states, its most widespread impact have been in Philadelphia, the city of brotherly love. Interesting. In California, there have been a handful of overdose. Hold on, let me do this. Hold on, guys. Have been widespread. Hold on. Okay, HC. In California, there have been a handful of overdose cases linked to trank, though there has been widespread testing for the drug. Public health officials in San Joaquin County or San Joaquin County confirmed that KCRA3 this month that they are aware of at least one report case of anxiety in the county from an opioid safety coalition partner in recent weeks. Coalition, I think. However, we do not have any other system of methods to continue to monitor its presence or to address it as this time. The county said in a statement on March the 7th, and remember this article was posted the last week of March, or the third or last week of March. Other counties in KCRA coverage areas either did not respond to requests for a comment or said they had not seen the issue. Last month, health officials in San Francisco said they determined that Trank had found its way into the illicit drug supply after a review of toxicology reports on people who died from drug overdose from mid-December of 2022 to mid-January of 2023, found 4 cases. Now, mind you, as y'all know, when you mix drugs, you put yourself at great risk. And we know occasionally, a lot of people like to mix a lot of drugs, from drinking drugs. As you know, most youngsters or older people, you hear of like the cough syrup and they mix that with the white cup. There are serious deadly repercussions and side effects when you start mixing in not only drinking alcohol beverage, but also chemicals in regards to get a greater high within one's body. And one of the few things will happen to you if you start mixing those drugs and you just inject it in your bloodstream. Only thing that's gonna happen is you're gonna seize and freeze up all forms of your arteries, and it's gonna drastically affect the valves of your heart, because heart is a valve. And anytime you throw in something that's foreign that has to dilute and use as to push blood flow into all your organs, it's going to cause a serious change where the body cannot handle in mid to large doses. Let's continue. The San Francisco office of the chief medical examiner had used state granted funding to retest for xylazine and plans to keep testing for the drug going forward. Okay. Los Angeles County also recently said that it has detected traces of the drug from a deadly overdose in 2021, and the LA Times report. What is Trank? What is it? What is this? A notice from California health officials said xylazine can be swallowed, inhaled, smoked, snort, or injected into the muscles of vein. Ooh, oh God, that's what it does? Damn. That's fucked up. That's scary. It's not just you could inject in your blood, but you could snort it, you could smoke it, and swallow it? What? Wow. Let's keep going. It's effective, typically lasts 20 to 50 minutes, and can significantly increase the risk of or for fatal overdose by depression, the central nervous system, causing slow heart rates, reducing breathing, and sedation. See? And mind you, imagine now if you take too much of this drug and it damages your nerve system to the point where they have to cut off your limbs. That's a worse way and a bad way to live. Where taking a drug like this, Trank, could potentially leave you amputated, and you'll be useless not only to yourself but useless to society. I'm not sure if that's the best way to go, but it's scary. Yeah, I know it's scary. Yeah. Let's keep going. The drug can also cause severe skin infection, though so far Those effects do not seem to have been seen in the San Francisco or Los Angeles case. Withdrawal symptoms are severe. Another problem with xylazine is that the opioid reversals medication, what they call not oxyon, doesn't work on xylazine. Amphetamine or phenamine strips can detect it, according to state health officials. Still, officials recommended using nalazine to combat the effects of phenamine. What is being done in California about tranq? Last month, California health officials told KCCRA 3 that in response to a handful of cases reporting, the state was assessing options and logistics for supporting xylazine testing and reporting. It asked for an update of those efforts on Tuesday, and the state points to this section of the website. The CDPH Substance and Addiction Prevention Branch, SAPB, works with many partners throughout the state of monitoring and addressing current trends at the statewide and local level. CDPH works closely with local health departments, coalitions, and other local levels partners to support local preventions and interventions. Efforts working closely with local health departments, coalition, the other local level partner allow CDPH to support local preventions and interventions efforts that address the specifics and unique trends and needs of California commission or communities. In addition, the CDPH Office of AIDS Harms Reduction unites provides support to what they call Syringe Exchange Service and harms reduction organizations serving people who use drugs across the states. And the state lists more than a harm reduction strategies for health professions, drug treatment providers, and policymakers here. One issue is the state said last month is that while toxicology labs may offer xylazine testing and comprehensive panels, the presence of xylazine is not needed to determine cause of death. Therefore, the MEC may choose to order a less cost basic panel. And the KCRA3 has learned that the San Diego-based drug testing company Millennials Health is starting to test for tranq and plans to have date the share in April from California across the country. And that looks like that's it. Very lengthy article. So what's the message you should learn? Stay away from drugs. If you are addicted to any form of harsh drug, particularly if you're a black or non-black person, you should immediately seek professional help. And when I mean immediate, you do it today. You don't wait 2 days now. You don't wait 3 days or a week. You go now. Now. Go seek help. Get that handled. Because you don't want to be a person, and I mean a person, especially if you're a man, depending on your economic or your statue, be on some serious drug taking to the point where taking a form of drug will have you lose an arm and leg. You don't want to do that. You want to avoid those type of drugs as soon as possible. All right, what's next? Here's another thing about dealing with drugs. We're gonna look at this one, and this is really crazy when I see this. Let's look at this.
Yes, everyone should see this by themselves. Last time, God gave me a message to deliver to Africans that we should not depend on white men food, because they have poisoned their food to kill all Africans for their resources. So this is one of the results. So there are many. We should better go back to our natural plants for our good health and not depend on white man food, because they don't love Africans. They don't want Africans to be alive. So if you can see this, you will know that we are surviving because of God. So we have to renounce and deny their food according to God's word, God's message. You have to deny their food and be thankful to God's own, which we have in Africa. We have no problem. We are strong and healthy. We are not sick, but we are sick today because of white man food. We have cancer, we have high blood, diabetes, and other diseases and other sicknesses because of white man food. In our forefathers' time, they were strong and healthy. Nothing was harming them. But today, see what we are, see where we are because of white man food. So we should better go back to our natural food to be strong. Thank you. May God bless and help you in this message. Amen.
Man. Now, I thought that was a skid, but that's what the medication they're getting from another country. If they're receiving medication for their illness, especially when dealing with blood or any circulations or, any problems, especially when it comes to the sugar problem, the diabetes, or even, for ingestion or any form of pills for simple problems you have. And you notice he pulled out one blue pill and looked like that blue pill could be no, I don't think it's the one for the erection, but they put in needles in your pills if you're getting your medication straight from the continent. Now, I'm not saying they'll do it here in America, but you just never know. I'm not saying but to find that that's what it's sound to other third world countries. I mean, I would say to anybody that's on meds, you might have to work your way and find alternate remedies to get yourself out of bad health. Not just to suppress it and deal with it. You gotta reverse that. And Zero Ends channel, we do promote better health. Matter of fact, we do some better. We promote you try to be as healthy as possible. And to find that that's what's going on, yeah. I wouldn't bank my life, in regards to trusting or depending on Western medicine in the long run. Not saying I don't use it like that, but if I have to, maybe. But really, I would not depend that for sustainability for the long run. And the reason why, because most corporations don't view the value of how can I say it, of you getting well. Matter of fact, there is no cure for the well. There's only a cure. There's only pills for symptoms, never a cure. So if you're a person that has high blood pressure problems, or you have how you say it, you got sugar problems, or you got any other forms of illness that requires you to pop a pill, you might have to start find alternate ways to get healthy, in my opinion. And you better start looking into them, because really, truly, you don't want to risk it out here. Yeah. Anyway, let's move on. Next video. Let's see what's next video. We could probably do this one. Next video.
A series of stories that we are doing this week on how U.S. food regulations have left American consumers exposed to chemicals and additives that have been banned in other countries. CBS's Holly Williams goes in depth to show us how some of these ingredients may be linked to cancer and other health-related issues.
From baguettes to focaccia, Europe is famous for its bread, but one ingredient is missing. Potassium bromate is a suspected carcinogen.
Now, before we go on with this video, you gotta keep in mind, guys, that a lot of your regular commercial foods you consume, it is proven evident that they are banned. They are banned in America. Like literally, they've been banned. And I think the reason why they ban a lot of American products, which really is not a domestic product in regards to sell to other countries to make money, is because they see that they put too much chemicals to keep them in regards to shelf life of the products. Now, you know that most what you buy, if they could last more than a month or two or whatever, that's something that overall you don't want to be consuming from what word on the street is. Food is supposed to have a period and a less than a shelf life on the average. But anyway, let's keep going with the video.
That's banned for human consumption in Europe as well as China and India, but legal in the US, where it's used by some food makers to strengthen dough and estimated to be present in over 100 products.
Damn.
There is evidence that it may be toxic to human consumers, that it may even either initiate or promote the development of tumours.
Professor Eric Millstone is an expert on food additives and told us European countries take a much more cautious approach to food safety.
And they have to take a more cautious approach to food safety. And the reason why is this. And I have to give commentary to this because, as you know, I'm very vital and serious about health, not only to my own health, but people health in general. Because when America always has the cold, everybody else got the flu. And knows that, you know, what's out here, and let's keep it real. Matter of fact, I'm at the videotape and I'll give you more assessment.
Can we say for sure that these differences in regulations mean that people in the US have developed cancers that they would not have developed if they'd been eating only in Europe?
I think that is almost certainly the conclusion that we could reach.
It's not just potassium bromate, but many other chemicals and substances that are banned here in Europe over health concerns, but considered safe by the FDA.
Do you think most Americans are aware that they're being exposed to substances that are viewed as dangerous over here?
They probably just think, well, if it's available and it's in the store, then it's probably fine.
Stacey McNamara is from upstate New York, but has been living in London for 10 years. She told us raising children on this side of the Atlantic has opened her eyes to what's allowed in food in the US. She has no plans to ever move back home.
And is food safety a part of that decision?
For sure, yeah. How am I going to protect my children when it's just everywhere?
In a statement to CBS News, the FDA said that when used properly, potassium bromate converts to a harmless substance during food production. But at the same time, Nora, it acknowledged that not all potassium bromate may convert, saying control measures can minimize the amount in food.
All right. So, I mean, let's be honest. Let's be fair. I'm not telling people what they should or how they should eat, but keep in mind, you always got to look at the ingredients on a lot of your food products. I think it's vital when you get the illness, especially when it leads to cancer and all other serious illness that will lead to death in time. You always got to go back to what is in your belly, and that all starts in what is in the food. And like I said, we've not been educated to know how food really works. I mean, personally, that's gonna eventually, in time, hopefully, will change as people get more cognizant and more aware of things. Because let's be fair, honest, you don't want to be consuming a lot of these, processed food in the long run, especially as you get older, because it really does matter. Personally. All right. I was looking at things right now. That's fine. All right, next video. Let me remove this. I'm just doing a look right now. Oh, here's another thing, and this is going to be a real touchy one that a lot of people, when I'm hearing when they talking about the one particular woman from the UK and how she has her Africans work for her, and said there was no problem with enslavement. Look at this video. Check this video out.
We have 60% of the black people in the Caribbean over the age of 60 have hypertension or diabetes, or both. Now, if you take the single criterion of chronic diseases, hypertension, high blood pressure, type 2 diabetes, if you take that simple criterion, the black people in the Caribbean are the unhealthiest people on the planet. And you have to understand that. On the one hand, we are watching Usain Bolt and we're watching the Caribbean athletes. We're watching the Caribbean with an image of being the most athletic people on the planet. But beneath that image of these super sportsmen and women is the hard reality that we are now the sickest people on the planet. In every black family in the Caribbean, hypertension and diabetes is endemic and congenital. In my family, almost everybody over 60 has hypertension and diabetes. And it's the same for your families, for all of our families. There is an explosion of ill health in the Caribbean. And this is a legacy of slavery and colonization. You take a people, put them on an island for 300 years, give them salt fish and salt pork every day, overwork them, undermine them, sell their children, rape their wives, make them work 20 hours a day, overwork, malnourish, and take them through that stress profile of physical and mental terror. What you get? Hypertension and diabetes. It was the same then as it is now. When your doctor tells you to learn to relax, take out your salt. Well, you can take out the salt, but your foreparents couldn't take it because that's all they had, salt. And now the result is that black people in the Caribbean cannot metabolize salt and sugar. Because for 300 years, that is what you were fed on plantations.
Let me wind that back for y'all, for those in the back.
You were fed on plantations, plus the stress. That is what you were fed on plantations, plus the stress. So we cannot metabolize salt and sugar, and now we all have a salt and sugar problem, hypertension, diabetes. And we are spending millions of dollars to deal with this. Millions of dollars we are spending to fight hypertension, diabetes in the Caribbean. That is going to be the #1 economic crisis in this region next 20 years, unless we find an answer to it. At the University of the West Indies, we've started to do this research. And I can share with you the problem that we're having. The drugs that are being used to treat high blood pressure, for example, have been clinically tried on Caucasian peoples because they are the majority in the markets. The drugs are 95% efficient on the Caucasian body.
But you want to know why? Let's keep playing.
Because when you take a hypertension drug, what happens? The drug goes into your body. It sends a message to your cells to open up To open up, let the blood come through. It sends a message. Okay. When a white person takes that drug, the cells have a 90% response. When an African black person in the Caribbean takes that drug, we have a 70% response. So we are still dying at a faster rate. When you see people in the 60s and 70s having stroke.
Now, they said if black people take the same drugs that was created and designed for really non-black people's preservation, because let's be honest, the genetic genome of a white person and a black person is totally different, as you can tell. But they run their, mad science experiments on a lot of black folks. So they're able to concoct these artificial medicines for their own people, for their own preservation, in regards to your own demise and detriment, unfortunately. Keep that in mind. Let's keep going.
Folks in heart attacks because of hypertension. It is because the drugs are not working. They're not working as well as they should. Now, the important thing about this is that the drugs work on the Africans. The drugs work on the Africans as well as they work on the Caucasians. But they don't work on us because something happened to us. You see, so when an African in Nigeria and Ghana and so on takes the drugs, she has a good response. When the European take it, they have a good response. But in the Caribbean and in the New World, the Africans over here don't have that response because something happened to us. Because we have been genetically modified during that slavery period. It doesn't work on us. And now we have to find out. So right now we are taking blood samples.
Yeah, that's a problem. But it tells you, and it shows that the importance, and I think there should be more investment to study the human genome in regards how the black body really works. I mean, there are some books that certain scholars wrote in regards of their understanding of the black body, but really in application, because majority of black folks don't have the facilities, that information will not really be effective because you need your own institutions. And I think that one of the weakness with a lot of them is the institutions alone is the one that keeps you preserved. Hold on. So, just in the West Indies, they have this problem. But one thing, if you pay attention, they talk about the genetic side of things, the epigenetics, and the consequences and the effects of enslavement. There's no such thing throughout Western history, Eurocentric history, if people really give a damn, that there was such thing as good slave masters to their slaves. And let's be fair and honest. Any human being think that because they enslaved another racial group of people that some of them were not bad, it tells you they very much dehumanize you as a people. Personally, if these people were not so bad, why would they keep you under enslavement for when you're born until possibly when you fall into the dirt? Should be the question. Because slaves never had nothing easy. You work from sun up to almost sundown, and then you get up and you do it again. And this is the danger, even when they talk about critical race theory, CRT, why it should be still taught in schools or removed. Personally, if you are a black person, you have black children, etc., it should be an insult for you to beg someone that is now in the process of removing that essential part that will hold the keys for you to get reparations, that part history of how you gone through abuse in regards to building this free first world nation we call America. It should be an insult. It should be your role to really have the institutions, or even go as far as teach your children yourself the real harsh reality of slavery and how it affects them today, and what must be done to really correct it. It is your responsibility as the parent, black parent especially. And don't do it alone. So, moving on. That's just a side note. Let's see what's next video. All right, we're going to look at this one.
Stop scrolling. So today we're going to talk about why we should not be wearing plastic or rubber shoes. And this is really important because everything that we wear on our body resonates at a frequency. And if we're wearing it on our feet, we're disconnecting ourselves from Mother Earth, which is the frequency of 7.83 Hertz, which is the same frequency as the heartbeat of the Earth. So when you're wearing plastic or rubber shoes, you're disconnecting yourselves from the healing frequencies that come off the Earth. This is why people start to develop restless leg syndrome, knee pain, back pain, neck pain, shoulder pain, headaches, any of these things, because what happens is you're building up all this static charge on your body, and then you can't release it. So wearing these types of shoes derived from petroleum products will actually lead to a lot of health issues. So that's why it's important to avoid any type of plastic shoes or rubber shoes, because they're disconnecting you from the human resonance, which resonates at 7.83 Hertz. Now click link in bio and visit blackveganshop.com to order natural herbs.
All right. All right, and I see somebody in the chat room. What's good? Make sure you guys watch and hit the like button. Yeah, man. You ever notice that you see a lot of women, and I've seen some dudes now wearing these plastic shoes. I'm having to put the video back up there.
Stop scrolling.
You see them wearing these plastic shoes. And Miss Shalom, please come up. I don't want to be alone doing this. These plastic shoes affect your connection to the earth. The earth is a resonancy. And everything has a harmonic signal, pulse, etc. You hear the term when you hear a lot of athletes, when they play basketball, they play basketball in only two areas. They play in concrete or on I think floors. And here's the thing they don't talk about. When you're not touching or walking on cushioned floors, i.e., soil, grass, mostly bare feet, if possible, you lose track and touch with the natural hormone flow of the earth. Because that your body does not resonate properly on the average, on the norm. Because let's be honest, the body is like a frequency. The body is something that, like anything, it has to connect something. You touching that soil, that ground, your body gets more or less stressed because now you're able to absorb the currency and the flow of not only the air but also the energy and the unseen resonance. Now we could say this is some weird spooko science, weird science, but hear me out. What has happened now, because a lot of us, we wear sneakers and we're in concrete all the time. We're not really touching nothing. And it makes it worse when you're up in here running and jumping on things that's artificial. Like those shoes. They do cause worn on your limbs, especially your lower parts, your legs, your knees. And mind you, diet also plays in this fact, but it's far worse. The body is like a living organism and it has to connect, it has to resonate. So the soil gives that extra cushion for your limbs. And let's be honest, a lot of people, once you're away from nature and you're not really tapping and going back outside and actually sitting down, getting the sun, or even touching the grass with your own body, you lose touch and the naturality of your body naturally healing through sound, air, and sun. So I leave it there. And I hope you guys got any comments. As a matter of fact, let me do this. Let me do this. I'll put this in here. I doubt anybody's going. Oh, it went there. All right. Next video. Next video. Oh, y'all guys gonna like this one.
Creep on in, on in,
Did y'all see that? Did y'all see that? Did y'all see that? Do you really want me to run that again? Let's run that again, shall we?
creep on in, on in,
All right. As you see in that video, that's where you get your, like, many hair products for a lot of the ladies to wear, to put on their head. The one particular content creator coined the term hair hat. There you go. They get that from a lot of known hair. Some from Indian hair. Even they get from all forms of hair, including body hair, including the hair from their private parts. We can also include animal hair as well, because they get it from rats or any other. They get their hair in a variety of places, and they sit there, wash it, comb it, knit it, etc. And they put it on the market for you ladies to buy and put over your own head. And we all know the consequence of wearing other foreign hairs that's not your hair has a very damaging effect, unfortunately. Yeah. Not telling people what they should do with their head, but I can see why a lot of dudes don't like the notion when a lot of women, especially Western women, wear fake hair. And trust me, when I talk about the ones like the Caucasian women wear, because majority of them wear extensions if they can, but they're not going to be wearing hair predominant that's not part of their own genotype that's straight, on the average. We're talking about people that are non-white, are the ones wearing and buying these fake hair put over their head, and eventually in time leave damages from the scalp, baldness, etc. So there's the problem. So that's that part. So always examine, where the hair comes from, knowing where you're spending your money. I mean, you're not getting hair from just one source. You get it from all source. And that's just the thing they're not really telling people. So, you know, if you didn't know, now you know. Next video. And this probably will be maybe the last video. And this one, if you didn't see this really catch a lot of attention. So here we go.
I have a theory about why Black women and white women are having such a hard time getting along, and it starts with a story. When I first started teaching, I was in a teacher training program with 3 other women. 2 of them were Black and 1 of them was Indian, and we started teaching at the same school, the same grade, at the same time. One of these women, a Black woman, completely excelled. She did so much better than I did at literally everything. Classroom management, her test scores were high. She was excellent at literally everything. And something about her excellence didn't sit right with me. I just didn't feel good about it, and I couldn't figure out why I didn't feel good about it. It was internalized racism, but I didn't know that yet. So I had to sit with this idea of her being better than me and trying to figure out why it didn't feel good and feel comfortable for me. And of course, at the time, I didn't know that I needed to do the work of anti-racism, so I didn't think it was possibly because I could have internalized racism. I had to do a lot of study and thought about myself and what could possibly be making me feel this way about this woman. And here's what I discovered. Most of the media that I had consumed up to that point in my life had white people as the central characters. And the shows and other media that I consumed that had white women at the central characters often had Black women as the side characters. These Black women's role in these movies was to assist the white women, support the white women, advise the white women, but never to rise above the white women. Even shows that were about Black women, like The Help, had white women as the central character and the Black women as supporting characters. So I internalized the idea that Black women were there to support me and to advise me, but not to rise above or become better than me. And that's why when this Black teacher was way better and more talented than me, I felt some kind of way about it. Now, I'd imagine lots and lots more white women have also internalized the same idea, and that's why they feel okay stealing Black women's content and not giving them any credit, because the Black women are just there to advise them anyway.
You know, some white woman that has done this. Let's continue.
But most Black women are natural leaders. Society has forced them to become leaders. And so we need to step aside and let them lead. Even if it means checking our privilege and letting them lead us.
You know, that didn't sit well. And, you know, I think most people might have caught that, or it probably gone through their one eyeball from the left to right. Can Miss Karen repeat what she said again? Let's hear from her again.
Theory about why Black women and white women are having such a hard time getting along, and it starts with a story. When I first started teaching, I was in a teacher training program with 3 other women. 2 of them were Black and 1 of them was Indian, and we started teaching at the same school, the same grade, at the same time. One of these women, a Black woman, completely excelled. She did so much better than I did at literally everything. Classroom management, her test scores were high. She was excellent at literally everything. And something about her excellence didn't sit right with me. I just didn't feel good about it, and I couldn't figure out why I didn't feel good about it. It was internalized racism, but I didn't know that yet. So I had to sit with this idea of her being better than me and trying to figure out why it didn't feel good and feel comfortable for me. And of course, at the time, I didn't know that I needed to do the work of anti-racism, so I didn't think it was possibly because I could have internalized racism. I had to do a lot of study and thought about myself and what could possibly be making me feel this way about this woman. And here's what I discovered. most of the media that I had consumed up to that point in my life had white people as the central characters. And the shows and other media that I consumed that had white women at the central characters often had black women as the side characters. These black women's role in these movies was to assist the white women, support the white women, advise the white women, but never to rise above the white women. Even shows that were about black women, like The Help, had white women as the central character and the black women as supporting characters. So I internalized the idea that black women were there to support me and to advise me, but not to rise above or become better than me. And that's why when this black teacher was way better and more talented than me, I felt some kind of way about it. Now, I'd imagine lots and lots more white women have also internalized the same idea, and that's why they feel okay stealing black women's content and not giving them any credit, because the black women are just there to advise them anyway. But most black women are natural leaders. Society has forced them to become leaders. And so we need to step aside and let them lead, even if it means checking our privilege and letting them lead us.
And there you have it. There you have it. Well, this is the first installment and first of many, many reels. Hold on. Let me do this. Oh, let me do this, guys. Hold on. This is one of many reels. And I'll probably do some more of these because there's so much content out here that it has to be looked at. But nonetheless, I would like to hear your thoughts and opinions on this. Leave a comment at the end of this video on your views on a lot of the videos that was posted. Do you think some is true? Do you think it's crap? Looking forward to hearing from you in the comment section of this one. Oh, and make sure you hit the like button on your way in and on your way out. So, till next time, take care.